it is time for that midweek recap. So we're going to jump straight into it, right? We're going to go over the dollar. We'll break down the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, Bitcoin, the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell. You know what? And let's pepper in a little gold action. Nvidia did just have earnings, so I will also go over Nvidia. But Nvidia will get its own full video over on Don Fran Show. So jumping out. Starting off, the dollar kind of ran into this weekly zone. Looking at it from a weekly time frame, things are looking good. When we run into a zone like that, indecisive means we found the sellers, right? We found the opposing force. So hitting that and selling off is what I need, right? So I'm short the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. This is a monthly zone that we're coming into, but also I did go along the British pound, U.S. dollar, which is a short U.S. dollar play. So I'm looking for a reversal right here as far as this weekly zone. Also, the overall just trend on this one was one I found interesting. So that's why I went long today on this one. We got a weekly zone, a type 2 bounce. Overall trend is up. So I want to take full advantage of that. Bitcoin for a little bit hit 95,000 after hours. After market hours. Sending it, right? So Bitcoin's going, well, finally breaking up. We ran into that 90 area, hung out for a little bit. Now we're pushing up even further. Looks like 100,000 will be here, I would assume pretty shortly. This could just turn on a dime and just head south. And the dangerous part about that, in my opinion, isn't going to be the Bitcoin holders. It's going to be the amount of people in meme coins and in altcoins. Those will get demolished. So if you're in those, Bitcoin's definitely something I'd be watching. This trend is the reason those things are up. A rising tide will raise all ships. But this pulling back is going to have almost a leveraged effect on the altcoins. Probably won't even be fair. It is worth noting, let's just bring up Doge real quick, because people do keep asking me about a million of them. If I had to buy one, I hate to say it would be Doge. Doge, because out of everyone that they bring up, Doge so far looks the cleanest, right? We jumped up. I even put these zones here a while ago. And look, we're just playing the back and forth game right here. So as long as we stay up or sideways, I'd be on board. I'd put my stop at 33.5, and then that'd be it. As long as we're on the gain train, then so would I. I would keep it as simple as that. When it turns around, no Doge boy selling me his story, nothing about that. I would just be out, and that'd be it. Maybe I would consider buying the dip way down here. I don't know. I'm sure you guys got a really cool story about it, but that's particularly how I would play it. All right, looking at the S&P, so I talked about being bullish last week. We bounced right on this zone. We haven't really taken off. In fact, each day we kind of go down and then back up. Still kind of creeping our way up. Today we held that zone, but it did sell off first. We kind of played the back and forth game between these two zones. When we get into tech, you'll see we kind of thought Nvidia would be the reason we break up or below. Nvidia did sell off, and so we're still kind of here. Range bound, kind of just hanging out. As far as the expected move goes, we're just dead in the middle. Right now, ultimately, bear flag or reversal, but bigger picture, trending up, still a bull market. NASDAQ, so I drew this out, I guess when we had this candle. We have not broken above or below and closed. I kind of thought Nvidia would be the reason, but we kind of came up here, Nvidia came out, right back down. So we're just playing the back and forth game between these two yellow boxes. All of today sold off, came down to this zone, came right back up. Now we're rejecting. So what I'm looking for will be a break and a close. That's as wide as we can make it. Above or below this, and that would be my signal. This, however, is not the signal. Sold off, the clock ran out, we started a new candle. This move right here is the exact same thing as this wick. So I want to see us stay above, So definitely looking out for that. I'm on the bullish side. I do think we'll break this side up and kind of continue our way up. I don't think we're going to crash until next year. So the war headlines, the stuff we're seeing, I think it's just to keep the ball rolling. Next year with unemployment and inflation, I'm thinking end of March is probably when when things are going to get weird. As far as the NASDAQ goes, still inside that range. Expected move. Plenty of wiggle room. I will say we do have. We have some news coming out tomorrow, right? Is it letters? So we got jobless claims tomorrow, a couple of Fed speakers, but then PMI Friday. So most of your fireworks will be tomorrow and Friday morning. Looking at the Dow, I would be bullish this. So we've been selling off lower lows, lower highs, puts in this low, but it quits making lower highs. On top of that, we might have just put in a higher low, and that is the overall just transition between selling off and turning around, starting to head bullish again. Overall, big picture, still very much a trend up. This could be a very decent dip buy for anybody trading the Dow. The one that looks the least of my favorites, the least tradable right now, is the Russell. Now, it kind of held this zone right here. Very weak, though. If anything, I would be long small cap. I would be long the Russell. Just of those, I would if I could only take one trade, the Dow. Ooh, that'd be, depending on your risk tolerance, it would be the Dow or the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ just runs. The Dow might be a little bit smoother as far as a trade goes, but those I'd say would probably tied for first place. Then the S&P, and then I guess this one if you have to take it. Either way, if you guys noticing a pattern here, overall we're trending up, and we're kind of at the dip buy right now. This is when you want to buy. Not up here when everybody's talking about it. All right, jumping into it. Again, Nvidia will have its own full video. Again, today we did nothing. Tiny bit of a gap up. Sold off, came back up. Looks like after hours. We are, okay, never mind. We're at 143. Yeah, sold off, hit that zone, bounced back up. Congrats to all the option sellers. That's going to absolutely kill it. Again, full video on Don Fran show. And make sure, guys, I actually went live on I tried something new. I went live on TikTok to actually cover this live. I did put a dip buy in at 131. Sucks that I didn't get that. Did want to buy more shares down there, though. Anyway, if you're on the TikTok platform, it's Don Fran show, actually. Don Fran show on there. Go check it out. Last but not least, I forgot to check this out. Let's check out some shiny metals. I don't know. I'm curious if gold is going to be range bound. Characteristically, something gold likes to do is we kind of hit these ranges. We kind of get stuck in these little ruts. Now, gold got very extended. It did pull back. I mean, it blasted past these previous lows. I mean, ultimately putting in lower lows. So there's no doubt about it. So maybe right now someone might be looking for a lower high and to continue to short this. If that were the case, I would wait to short this at this yellow zone right here. And what I would do, though, is if it rejects trading gold futures, I would have my stop in the green. I don't know if I would trail it just yet. Let it reject here, come back down. You go short, put your stop right here. Now, if it kind of comes out here and bounces, we might just be range bound again. Maybe you can take it a couple times. But the reason why I wouldn't trail is because I want to wait to find that out while still being in a short play. Because if that ends up being a lower high and we get, a lower low and the trend ultimately is down, that could be a great entry. It's just something that you won't know until you have time on your side to tell you if that trade was going to pan out. But overall right now, does still seem like the bears might be in control. But I think we'll probably establish, and my head's in the way. See, we just go sideways, get that leg up sideways, kind of reminiscent of Nvidia. But I kind of think that's where we're at. So maybe I think we'll ultimately chill out. We'll pick a spot, and then gold will kind of just sway back and forth. It's a little early, but I think this might just be the range that we hang out in. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.